Viewmasters, it's the podcast that we do. Viewmasters, talk about movies that we view. Viewmasters, my friend Eric and me, Joe. Viewmasters, hey, let's start the show.
Hey, welcome to the Viewmasters, episode 371, The Fly. My name is Eric.
My name is Joe.
Hello, Joe.
Hello, Eric.
How's it going?
It's going okay. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well, actually.
Good.
Uh,
Oh, boy.
that Vincent Price sure is crazy.
Do you ever make a decision and immediately regret it?
I mean, all the time.
I know, me too. No, honestly, no. I do not regret this.
Okay. I was speaking to my lady friend earlier today, and she asked what movie we were going to be watching. I said The Fly. I said it was Joe's choice. I was like, I am debating about warning him about how gross this movie is.
Yeah.
And, because I knew, like, I could already hear your reactions.
You mean like before we started the movie?
Uh-huh, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
You matched up.
Okay.
And also I was thinking, well, you know, we're going to have Taco Bell. I don't know if I should at least hold off on the movie until after we eat, or maybe just not eat altogether. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like that stuff doesn't bother me, but again, I know you relatively well, I think.
Yeah.
And I knew a lot of the reactions you would have.
Yeah, I mean, it was not as bad as I thought it would be.
Okay,
actually. I mean, the fingernail stuff gets me every time.
No, yeah, I'm with you on that.
The teeth stuff also got me a little bit.
It's not so bad in this, though.
It's not so bad in this. The spitting up. Once I knew it was coming, then I think I was okay. But still excessive. But everything else I feel like I handled okay.
Yeah. Well, the baboon part.
The baboon part was horrific.
Yeah.
And I figured it was going to be horrific. I did not care for that. I don't know why it had to be a baboon.
What else are you going to test it on?
I don't know.
A baboon and a cat?
No. No, you're not. Because that apparently you would have to beat to death. In a deleted scene we didn't have to watch, thankfully. Now, did he do that before or after he was Brundlefly?
I would assume after.
I would assume after as well, because he's trying to
Figure
splice
it out. Right,
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, man. No, thankfully in the theatrical cut or whatever we watched, the surviving baboon gets through it unscathed.
Yes.
Oh, my God. Yeah, so I knew Cronenberg.
Sure.
So there is an expectation of body horror built in.
I think this is our second Cronenberg.
Yes.
And so I probably asked you back when we did Crimes of the Future.
Yeah.
You know, what's your experience with Cronenberg?
I think that all I had seen at that point was Existence.
Okay. Which is relatively mild.
Relatively mild.
Yeah.
Still gross shit, but
Yeah.
I think that was all I had seen.
Okay.
And also Jason X, obviously.
Well, yeah.
Which this is also our second acting Cronenberg.
That is true. trying to think.
Is he in Crimes of the Future?
I can't remember. Yeah. I'll say no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That works. But yeah, I mean, obviously he has a reputation.
Yeah.
So like I had that in mind, and I think maybe with that in mind, I imagined it a lot worse than it was.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some horrible, horrible shit in this movie.
It's pretty gross.
It goes...
It's a little gooey.
It goes way farther than I expected it to towards the end.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it was not like my as always, my imagination was worse than I think what it actually was.
Yeah, I mean, had you... Obviously, you knew somewhat of its reputation. Like, had you had it, like, spoiled for you? Like, expectations raised?
I mean, a guy has a teleporter mishap with a fly. Was pretty much all I knew about it.
Okay.
I think there's a Treehouse of Horror episode that parodies it where Bart ends up with a fly head.
Yeah.
So I sort of had that in mind.
Okay.
Like maybe Jeff Goldblum ends up with a fly head.
So that is the original fly.
I was going to say that's probably the original, yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, beyond just knowing and assuming the body horror was going to be horrific, I didn't really know what to expect.
Okay. All right.
And what we end up getting is a film about a woman's right to choose, and I really support that, especially in our current political climate.
It is oddly relevant.
It is.
Yeah. It's also about a woman and her horrible taste in men.
Yes, that's true as well. Yeah, I did not expect Stathis, whatever the fuck his name is.
Stathis Borans.
Yeah, I did not expect him to end up being one of the heroes of the movie.
It is odd how that turns.
I thought that he would be sort of like a Steve Martin in Little Shop of Horrors. Like, this guy's going to be a victim for our proverbial fly at some point.
Which he is.
So, sort of, yes,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
is. He is certainly maimed by Brundlefly.
Yes.
Brundlefly is a word that I had heard before,
Okay.
but did not know that it originated in this movie. Like, I thought, oh, that's just a type of fly that's out there somewhere. And so when like he said his name is Seth Brundle, I was like, oh, that's clever, like Brundlefly. And then I started actually thinking about it, and I Googled it, and it's like, oh no, that's actually just from The Fly.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, there's a few things in this that I did not know were from this movie.
Oh, such as?
Be afraid, be very afraid.
Tagline for
Holy
this movie.
shit, I had no idea. Like, that is just a phrase that has existed in the world for as long as I have been aware of things. So,
I mean,
basically,
this movie is 2 years younger than you, something like that?
something like that, yeah. So that sort of caught me off guard. Like, usually I'm used to hearing it as a parody kind of thing.
Sure.
But nope. I mean, and there is humor in this. I did not expect there to be as much humor as there is in this movie.
It was a lot funnier than I ever remembered it
It's so funny. What does he say? You miss some good days? Or you miss some good times?
Good moments. Yeah.
Good moments. There you go.
Yeah, so my basic opinion on this movie is clearly I like it.
Yeah.
I own it. I've seen it numerous times. I feel that Jeff Goldblum was robbed of all the Oscars
Okay.
for this movie,
Yeah.
and that we should go back in time, award them to him, and then shut them down
Yeah.
because we're done.
He is amazing in this.
He is fantastic.
Yeah. Especially acting through as much prosthetics as he is acting through.
Right.
Like, he's so good.
He is incredible. When he first becomes fused with the titular fly, just him acting like he's all coked up is amazing.
Yeah.
When he starts the movie as just an awkward, clearly on the spectrum, science nerd.
Yeah.
His mental and physical transformations throughout are just stunning to watch.
Yeah.
And then that small in between part where he is just real fucking sexy.
Yeah. Yeah, what's that about? That's weird.
It's super weird.
I mean, it's no shirt open on the table in Jurassic Park, but still. And that's mostly because of the hair here. His hair
it's crazy.
Is really, really nuts.
Yeah. See, I never... Like, I know people point to the Jurassic Park thing as just peak sexy Goldblum.
Yeah.
And that, I never got that.
Okay.
For whatever reason. But in this movie, for about 2 minutes in this movie, he can get it.
Yeah, I mean, he is in real good shape.
He is in incredible shape.
And also an expert gymnast. Who knew?
Yeah, for also a brief moment, this becomes a superhero movie.
It felt very Spider-Man.
Right?
Yeah. And then especially when he's literally crawling on the walls.
Sure.
Like I can see...
Looks a little less sexy in those, though.
A little bit, yeah. But like I can see Sam Raimi, horror director Sam Raimi...
Yeah.
Taking Spider-Man in a different direction and it looking like this.
Absolutely. I mean, they were mostly contemporaries.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm making this up just in my own headcanon.
Okay.
But I feel maybe David Cronenberg was attached at one point to a Spider-Man movie.
That's nuts.
I think I'm wrong.
Okay.
I really do think I'm just making this out of nothing.
So the only David Cronenberg Spider-Man movie that I want to see, I guess there's two of them, is either Man Spider, where he's just full-on spider.
Sure.
Or Spider's Man, where he is just a group of sentient spiders that occupy a Spider-Man costume.
I like that.
Yeah, that one's pretty cool. I like that one.
Yeah. He could be like six-armed Spider-Man.
Exactly.
That'd be pretty great.
Yeah. Yeah, I think six-armed Spider-Man eventually becomes Man Spider.
I believe
like
so.
At least if I'm remembering my neogenic nightmare from the 90s animated series correctly.
I recently got a giant What If omnibus. And I don't know if it was in that one or if it was a different What If series. But there was an issue where what if Spider-Man kept his 6 arms?
Oh yeah, I remember that one. That's from the second series.
Okay,
so I remember reading that one as a kid. I believe that's What If number 30.
Okay, yeah.
Because that's how my brain works. Anyway, continue.
Nope. Love your brain, Joe.
It's something special, that's for sure.
But no, yeah, I just remembered it in my head too, and just thought about how in the end it just all works out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
Just like this movie.
Just like this movie. It all works out perfectly.
Oof. Oh boy.
But also, I think we need to give equal time to Gina Davis as far as sexy goes.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
She's attractive.
Yeah, she is.
They both Gina Davis and Jeff Goldblum are attractive people with interesting faces.
Yes.
Like they don't feel conventionally attractive, either one of them to me.
Nope.
Gina Davis more so, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's interesting to see them next to each other in a romantic pairing in this movie. just because they are both very interesting to look at.
Very true.
But yes, Gina Davis is very attractive in this movie.
I don't know the timeline, but they may have been married
Really?
during this movie.
Okay.
They did 3 movies together that I'm aware of.
Oh, wow.
I believe they met on a Transylvania 65000.
Hell yeah.
And then, of course, Earth Girls Are Easy,
Of course.
which I think is after this one.
Camp classic.
Yep. and which Goldblum is very sexy in that one too.
I've never seen either of the other 2 of their collaborations.
I would recommend them.
Okay. All right.
Different reasons though.
Sure.
So yeah, they were at least dating, if not actually married.
Okay.
During this movie.
Interesting.
Yeah, so
They have good chemistry.
They do have good chemistry.
Yeah.
It's a sad that it didn't work out for those kids.
Yeah. It doesn't for everybody.
No.
Especially in Tinseltown,
It's true.
where temptation's around every corner. And sometimes one of you just turns into a giant fly. Shit happens.
Shit does happen. Sometimes you invent a revolutionary transportation machine, and sometimes a fly gets spliced into you.
That's right. And sometimes you don't.
And sometimes you don't.
I will say this movie just fucking goes. Like there is no dilly-dallying around up top.
It is super fast paced.
Yeah.
And I admire it for it.
Me too.
Because it's still pretty dense.
Yeah.
For what, hour and a half, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's early for us right now.
It is. It's strange. Yeah. I might get home before 10 o'clock.
That'd be nice.
It would be nice.
I'll be snug in bed.
I'm tired. And this movie was stressful. Oh, man.
Yeah. So there are a lot of theories about the themes of this movie. Whether a lot of people think that it's Cronenberg's sort of horrific take on the AIDS crisis, but he says it's just about death and aging in general.
That makes sense.
I did get a little worried because there is a lot of cancer talk in this.
There is cancer talk.
Yeah.
I mean, there's cancer talk in a lot of things.
There is. I mean, yeah. Ever since your experience, it is something that I notice a lot now.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
it is just everywhere as just. I mean, almost plot gags.
It's plot cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just kind of shitty sometimes.
It's really shitty. Did you see Thor: Love and Thunder?
I did.
I feel like that's the shittiest use of cancer as a plot device that I've seen in recent times.
Okay.
Just because it's ill-defined. Like, oh, Jane has cancer.
Right, yeah.
Not specific, nothing.
Yeah. She's just dying and withering.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool work, guys.
Right. But, I mean, I didn't read the comics, but I'm assuming that it's still relatively faithful to that story.
I would assume, but I don't know. Maybe there was more room in the comics to go
possible.
into it because they didn't have to fit Greek gods and other stuff into it to set up future movies.
Yeah, which will probably never pay off.
Probably not. Good times.
Yep. Marvel.
Thunderbolts in theaters at some point. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
Kraven the Hunter in theaters at the end of this week.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Right? Can you fucking believe it? Speaking of Thor: Love and Thunder, Russell Crowe is also in Kraven the Hunter.
Is he?
Yes. I believe he's Kraven's father, who's, I guess, a villain? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
He's a villain to Kraven's hero? Question mark?
I mean, those are barely Marvel movies.
That's true.
It's in the Madam Webiverse.
I mean, I assume that at the end, the Vulture and Morbius will swoop down and be like, Kraven, you need to join us now. People like us need to stick together.
Sure, yeah.
And then, Madam Web, obviously, in her chair.
Yep. Still never seen it.
Yeah, me either.
Good.
Yeah. Might pick it. Who knows?
I'd probably watch it.
It'd be fun to watch for the show.
Yeah, goddamn it.
Oh, boy. The Fly.
The Fly. Not a ton to say. I mean,
it's pretty straightforward for a movie about a mad scientist who fucks up his life.
Yeah. Don't fuck with nature.
Yeah.
It's ultimately what it's about.
Nature will fuck back.
Yes, it will. Nature fucks.
That's right. That's a theme in a lot of Mel Brooks' movies. You know, The Elephant Man, History of the World Part 1. What other stuff has he produced that's not parody or comedy?
I'm not sure. I mean, you mentioned the two that I can think of right off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's probably been other stuff. It's kind of weird that he's just sort of ushered in, the mainstreaming of two autistic Davids.
That's true. That is weird.
Because, I mean...
That's very specific.
It really is. Because, I mean, Elephant Man was Lynch's second movie.
Yeah.
But, Cronenberg has had a career up to this point, but I feel like everything up to this point has also been sort of fringy.
Right.
Very, very culty. And then this was his first sort of major Hollywood breakout. And I guess Videodrome kind of comes close to it. At least has, James Wood and Blondie in it.
Yeah. That was what, 83?
Maybe. Yeah. That sounds right.
So a few years before this.
Yeah. Maybe Mel Brooks saw Videodrome and was like, yeah, that's my guy.
Maybe.
And it's essentially what happened with Elephant Man. He saw Eraserhead and said, yep, that's my guy.
That's so weird. What's happening in there, Mel Brooks?
I don't know. I mean, I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's not a complaint. It's interesting.
People have many facets.
I suppose.
Including Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks contains multitudes.
He does indeed.
Oh boy, what would this movie have looked like had Mel Brooks directed it?
I'm trying to think. Has he ever directed anything that's not a comedy? I don't think.
I can't think of anything.
Yeah.
We'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
And if he has, maybe we should do it for the show.
Absolutely. Oh boy.
Yeah. But yeah, so the sequel.
Yes.
You've seen all of the movies,
I have seen every movie containing the word The Fly in it.
Okay. How is the sequel, The Fly 2, Son of the Fly?
It's all right.
Yeah?
It's kind of fun.
Okay.
It's different. It is this is a horror movie with, deeper themes and trying to be, a little more artistic in its approach to this old cheesy movie from the 50s. The Fly 2 is just more straight up 90s cheesy horror.
Okay.
It's just throwing off any pretense that Cronenberg was trying to put on it.
Gotcha.
And just just making a horror movie.
Is it not? I assume it's not Cronenberg.
It is not Cronenberg. No.
Okay.
The guy who did the special effects for this movie directed.
Oh, okay.
Fly 2.
Nice. Did Mel Brooks produce that one as well?
I don't know. I mean, I would assume that's. I mean, he probably gets at least a producer credit, maybe.
Yeah.
You know?
I asked because I saw Daphne Zuniga in the credits for it, and she, of course, is the princess in Spaceballs.
Absolutely. I will spoil The Fly 2 here.
That's fine.
I believe it has a happy ending.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
yeah,
How does that work?
I can't remember exactly, but it does. But basically, like, yeah, once sort of things kick off, it just follows the same sort of progress as this movie, but also makes it more slashery in a way.
Interesting.
You know, like he turns into a giant fly and then he just stalks a bunch of people and kills them.
Okay. Like flies do.
Kinda, yeah.
Sure. The speaking of the effects in this.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Right?
The effects are so good.
They're just practical effects for the win.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you know, watching it, you know, in high def, you can see a little bit more of like the rubber suit that Goldblum is wearing.
Sure.
You know, but it still looks really good.
It looks great.
You know, and you can see, you know, especially when he does the projectile vomiting, you know, that it's just a fake head with a hose coming through it. But
Yeah.
still looks pretty good.
Still looks good. Still super gross.
Yep. And then, yeah, at the end with his final transformation is fantastic.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I knew I should be horrified by it, but I was mostly just in awe of the craft of it.
Yeah.
Like it looked so cool.
It really does. And I like, you know, at the very end when he is fused with the telepod.
Yeah.
And Gina Davis is going to mercy kill him.
Mm-hmm.
He's still got a lot of emotion in its eyes.
Absolutely.
For being a weird, fucked up puppet.
Yeah. I mean, Jeff Goldblum's eyes, because obviously those are not his eyes
Right, yeah.
in the puppet, but like when he is in the full prosthetics, there is still so much coming through just from his eyes.
Right.
And just his physicality is, yeah, it's spectacular.
I love when he starts getting like twitchy.
Yeah.
It just adds so much to it.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's great in this.
Yeah.
Just like I said, just give him all the Oscars and shut it down.
No more Oscars.
No more Oscars. He won them all.
Sorry, Marty, you'll never get your Oscar.
Nope, fuck that guy. He hates Marvel movies, which are perfect.
That's
as we've
true.
discussed.
That's true. They are the peak of cinema. Fuck that guy. He hates Marvel movies. Welcome to Twitter, the podcast.
Hey, you know, Twitter's a name not being used anymore. We could...
Shit, you're right. Each episode is called a tweet. I think we're onto something here. We should cut this part.
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Call our lawyers.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man. Yeah, The Fly was great. I really enjoyed it.
I was worried.
I was worried, too. I told you before it started, I was so anxious.
Yeah. And you know, like I said, you had the reactions I expected you to have, but I honestly thought it was going to be you coming out the other side being this was awful.
Yeah. No, it was a good story, really well acted, really well made. Yeah, I do not regret having seen this missed classic.
That is good. Are you gonna check out The Fly too?
Probably not.
Okay.
I'm good.
You gonna check out the original?
I mean, I'm curious about the original.
I mean, obviously much tamer.
Obviously, I would assume.
A little more ridiculous. Guy with a giant fly head.
Excellent.
Vincent Price being a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is unsettling.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Takes place in France, maybe?
Okay.
Or maybe just Canada again?
Okay.
Probably Canada
Monsieur
again.
Brundle.
It's not Brundle.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't remember their last name, but I remember his name is Francois.
Okay. Francois Brûlé. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming this movie takes place in Canada because Cronenberg.
I would assume so.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
The Loft reminded me of I forget whose loft it was on Orphan Black. Have you watched Orphan Black?
Watched like the first season, I think.
Okay.
But, yeah.
They're one of the clones lives in a loft.
Okay.
And maybe it was just the sliding like warehouse door
Right.
that reminded me of it, but I wondered if they were maybe the same set that were the same stage that were used.
It's
Since
possible.
that was made in Canada as well.
Very true. All I know is that I saw this movie as a kid, and I just always wanted to live in a loft like that.
I mean, it seems pretty cool.
Right?
Yeah.
It's spacious.
Super high ceilings.
Yeah.
Skylight.
Yeah.
Easy access to the roof for when you want to go out and kidnap people and then, crawl back in on the walls.
I mean, always.
Heck yeah.
I also kind of always admired the fact that, he just wore the same clothes, every day.
Yeah, I thought of it as a cost-cutting measure for the wardrobe department.
Well, I mean, sure, there's that.
Like, I don't know what the budget for this movie was, but there's basically only 3 characters in it. A few other speaking roles, and one of them is played by the director, so...
I mean, he probably got, SAG minimum.
I don't know. I don't know how that works.
I don't either.
When you're a director and you're in your own movie. Oh, The Fly, good times.
Good time.
Buzz buzz. Three pincers up. How many? I don't know. How many arms do flies have?
8.
Probably more than 3.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. But yeah, I liked it a lot.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear it.
Oh, is anything bringing you happiness this week?
Oh, boy. No, I'm broke. And I don't know. I've been rewatching, speaking of David Lynch from earlier, rewatching Twin Peaks The Return.
Nice.
And over the weekend, I got to episode 8.
Oh, wow.
And just, I mean, I don't know if, walking away with a feeling of just having never accomplished anything worthwhile in my life is something to make me happy. But just, it's a fantastic piece of art
Yeah.
that made me realize that I've never accomplished anything in my life. But I enjoyed watching that piece of art.
Okay. Yeah. I think you can separate admiring the piece of art from feeling like you've never accomplished anything. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
It wouldn't be the first time that I've ever had that happen to me. So
Yeah.
Adam Hughes has still ruined my life.
I was gonna say, are you gonna stop making movies now?
Yes.
Okay. I support you.
I mean, I haven't made one in 20 years, so
So why start now?
exactly.
You got a good thing going.
Yep. Went out on top. What about you, sir?
Oh, let's see. Been rewatching Doctor Who,
Okay.
which is nice.
Yeah.
Just pure comfort television. Been a while since Katie had watched it, and she'd wanted to rewatch it, so I'm just sort of dipping in and out while she watches it.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I also read a comic that I liked.
Ooh.
It is called The Pedestrian.
Never heard of it.
It's from Magma Comics.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, and it's pretty small, like startup within the past year or two, I think. But yeah, The Pedestrian is written by Joey Esposito and drawn by Sean Von Gorman. And it's about like a small town that has a just guy who like just walks around, like speed walks everywhere in an all white suit and helps people and doesn't say a word.
All right.
And he is the pedestrian. He is the hero of this little town. But it's also like this really sweet slice of life story about the people who live in the town. And also there's really weird shit going on that sort of develops as the series progresses. It's only 4 issues so far.
Okay.
And it was delightful and really fun and odd. I like the art a lot. I just like the feel of it. So yeah, that's probably like I haven't read a comic that I've liked that much.
Oh wow.
Or just unexpectedly liked as much as I liked this.
Right.
And I recommend it. It's the Pedestrian from Magma Comics.
I mean, you pretty much sold me on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds good.
It's great.
All right. I'll have to look out for that then.
Yeah, I know there's a collected edition, I believe there's on FOC this week,
Okay.
which does nothing for the listener. But it'll be out at some point.
Sure. If you have a good comic store, you can order it anytime.
That's true. Yeah.
If you have a good one.
If you have a good one.
I did, so Gina Davis's character in the movie is a reporter.
Yes.
And of course her sleazy editor is the guy from Blood Simple.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But while we were watching them, interact with each other, and I had to wonder, was that like reminiscent of how you and Heidi would interact with each other at Comics Beat?
Fuck no. Jesus Christ.
Was she trying to steal stories out from under you? And
I mean, sure, all the time.
okay, yeah.
But there was a lot less sexual harassment.
Oh, that's good.
Not none, but
Not
a lot
none, but
less.
Sure. Did she ever commission a giant illustration
Of Jeff Goldblum?
of Jeff Goldblum?
I mean, she did, but she also just really likes Jeff Goldblum.
Well, who doesn't?
No. Yeah, that was weird, but also really cool illustration. I really liked that art.
I hope they paid that artist well.
I hope so. Now they would just have fucking AI do it.
Right. Fuck it all.
Fuck AI.
Oh, Lord.
Speaking of AI, AI doesn't know how to break down and recombine humans. I had that thought while we were watching this.
That is true.
Like, it's basically the teleporter is a large language learning thing.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know, science.
You have to teach it.
You do have to teach it.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a metaphor for AI.
It really is.
And AIDS. So do you have a movie in mind for next week, Eric?
I do.
What you got?
So I've got 2 in mind. One, because I feel like my first choice, it feels like a movie that you and your lady friend would have watched together already.
Oh boy, okay.
But I don't know. So I'm gonna throw it out there, and if you say you have and don't want to watch it again, I've got a backup right coming up.
Okay.
But my first choice is a movie that is recent-ish, starring and directed by Anna Kendrick, called Woman of the Hour.
Ooh. I have not seen that.
Okay.
I would actually very much like to watch that.
Excellent. Then that is my pick.
Nice. Awesome.
All right.
I'm into it.
Excellent.
Yeah, I remember hearing about it when it was like coming out. Is it a Netflix movie?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, so that's probably why I never heard about it again, because it came out and then was immediately fucking buried by 100 other things that Netflix released.
Yeah. I heard about it, like I saw it popping up on my Letterboxd. People I follow, would review it. But yeah, then after like a week or two, it just kind of just disappeared forever. But it stayed in my mind.
Thank you.
So
I'm really glad that it did. No, I do really want to watch that. That's exciting.
all right. Then
Nice.
That's what we'll do.
Excellent.
Okay, then.
All right, Woman of the Hour next week.
Yes.
And until then, buzz buzz, and I hope that you keep living your life a quarter mile at a time.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you for listening to The Viewmasters. You can subscribe to the show directly at our website, view.guttertrash.net, or on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. Visit our website at view.guttertrash.net for information about our Twitter and Instagram. Once again, thank you for listening to The Viewmasters. We'll see you next time.